30 days, 30 videos, the first daily uploads of 2021. Watch me do awesome things, like ruining a strategy in F1 2020. Returning to Overwatch for the first time in over a year.
I'm going to win!
Hell yeah, you gonna win. Continuing the building of Bretown and City Skyline.
We got one house chilling. That's nice.
Or, if you're interested, discussing a bit of music.
I love the cover of it. It's pretty cool.
But of course, above all that, we're having some fun. Because why not? It's WCW's Wild June 21.
Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here. And of course it's review time. The French Grand Prix. Who would have thought? We're going to sit here and not be like, well, that shit was boring. Time to leave. Because you know what? It actually was good. Throw away the first 20 laps, and things got spicy when pit stops hit. So, first though, getting that pick right, Max Verstappen with the dub. Pretty cool there, not gonna lie. But I was excited about this one, for sure. Yeah. So Max, of course, got pole. When the first turn, the wind was a little bit wild. Went a little wide behind Lewis, and I'm like, well, there goes that. And it was not it for the first about 20 laps around there. Pit stops began, and it was looking like, these tires weren't necessarily it. Mediums and hards, both of them were definitely losing their grip in their life relatively quick. So when the first pit stops came in, we saw just how big of an impact the tires were, because Max pit next lap, Lewis came in and was behind him. Lewis was ahead of Max by about 3 seconds on the pits, so, and also had a faster pit stop by a tenth of a second. So, that faster pit stop and the gap that he had was just gone because Max was out on those hard tires for a lap longer. But right there, it was just Max was going, Lewis, then we had Bottas doing whatever the hell he's doing. All three are sort of going on the line around the track, and it was looking interesting, and you could see pretty quickly the tire wear that was coming on Lewis's front left tire. It was pretty quick that you could just see that wear that was going. And Red Bull decided, you know what, we're going to do a two-stop. So Max comes in with about, I believe it was 20 laps to go, a little more than 20. Got on the mediums, wild run, charging all the way back, passing Perez, passing Bottas, passing Lewis for the win, going on to lap 52 of 53 in the back straight chicane. Now we should also mention Perez and his strategy. That worked out for him pretty well. Perez was behind this battle a little bit. Red Bull had him stay out way longer than the drivers, bring him in, put him on that one stop, and he was able to go all the way past Bottas. Who we gotta talk about? We gotta talk about Bottas. Okay. Now, I put out a video last week, or after Azerbaijan, whatever it was, a little over a week ago. I put out the video saying he's gotta go. And I feel like after this race, there's just more. He's got to go. Now, there were people saying, because Bottas said if he pit, he would have won. He wouldn't have won. Bottas doesn't do winning anymore. There was no way that Bottas would have won this race. Let's be honest here. There's also no way, which I think people don't understand, Mercedes isn't going to just let Bottas do what he wants. He's clearly the second driver, okay? Lewis is the main driver. He's always going to be between these two. I don't get why people think Bottas is, first of all, good, and thinks the Mercedes should do something to benefit Bottas is going to hurt Lewis. He's in a clear fight with Max for first, in the championship. Bottas isn't a factor. Nobody cares. So why do people think they're going to do something to help Bottas? Potentially beat the driver that they need to have more points for the championship. It doesn't make any sense. Now, the reason that I'm saying this is because when we're seeing this battle, this race would have been completely different if Bottas didn't just crumble under pressure immediately. And going into the back little chicane area, Max is coming up. Now, of course, he's coming up with his faster tire, newer tires, DRS, all this stuff. But Bottas still had the line, and then outbrakes himself and completely throws off that corner Max is by. Now, for me, obviously, as a fan of Red Bull, as a fan of Max, of course it was brilliant to see. But on a pure, how good of a race it's going to be, because I want to see the most wild challenges the drivers would take. And honestly, Max took that with that one lap. How much different would the race have been had Bottas been able to hold him off another lap? Because he was probably not going to pass through a good portion of the rest of that lap. So would this race have been different had Bottas not just crumbled the second Max got near him? We'll never know, of course, but just a little interesting out there on my thoughts on it. But I think he's got to go. I think you put George Russell in here immediately and things change. Now, after Perez got by Bottas, the fact that Mercedes didn't pit Bottas for softs, try to go for a fastest lap to take that away from Red Bull, mind-blowing. Why would you not do that? But it was interesting to sort of see Red Bull pull the strategy that Mercedes used against them in Hungary in 2019 and in Spain earlier this year. Both times Max stayed out long on hard tires. Lewis came in, fit mediums, I believe, both times, right around the track. About the same time, about 20 laps to go, came in, charged by just a few laps to go in both Spain this year and Hungary in 2019. So, that was that. But outside of course, the top four drivers, there were some other battles, including McLaren, who that was really fun to watch. Probably one of the most fun parts of this race was seeing, especially in the early bits, I believe before the first pit stop, Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo charging through the field. Just awesome to see those two charging through there. Because, seeing them charging through there together was awesome. I thought it was really, really cool to see that. So, that was really fun. So cool. Other notable things, only the 10th Grand Prix ever to not have a car out of the race. Absolutely wild. Who would have thought that would ever happen in a race that Mazepin's in? Not me. Surprising here that Leclerc and Sainz were shocked that Ferrari's pace was off after they said going this race things would go back to normal, where Ferrari's pace is off. Because let's be honest, before all the Ferrari things went wild in Monaco and Azerbaijan, Ferrari was not doing things. They were kind of chilling further back. And then having those two tracks, they were just amazing. All of a sudden, they got this speed, and then they're back to this. So, what? Because it was McLaren was sort of in that third spot by themselves. That Red Bull 2019 spot, chilling, but not close enough to beat the other two teams. That's where McLaren was. They were in that spot where they're in the fight. They're a good car. They're the third best car. But, championship-wise, they're not going to beat the top two. not to the extent, of course, that was a top three. You know, we had Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. All three were top three, where now it's Mercedes and Red Bull, then McLaren, then everybody else. So, but still, it was sort of weird to see Ferrari make that jump in and then jump back. Absolutely terrible race. Charles Leclerc is 16th. You love to see it. You gotta just love it. Overhyped. I say it all the time. Charles Leclerc is overhyped. Let's be honest here. Just gonna say it. First 7 poles in a car with sort of illegal things. We're never going to know because it's Ferrari. I'm going to keep it secret. 2 career wins in the same car. A pole that he had to hit into the wall to secure, or he would have got destroyed by Max and Bottas. And then 1 pole he actually earned. So, in my mind, Charles Leclerc's got 1 pole. But everybody hypes him up. It's wild to me. He's in that list of like overhyped drivers: Leclerc, Gasly, Alonso. Put those 3 there. My brother and I always joke about Leclerc having like 30 championships or whatever, just the way they hype him up. We're always making those jokes of 30-time champion Charles Leclerc. Just because everybody seems to love him for some reason. But yeah, looking at the standings here, Max in first place with 131. Lewis with 119. Perez down in third, 84. Lando Norris, 76. Valtteri Bottas in one of the top 2 cars with 59. Then we got Leclerc with 52. Sainz with 42. Gasly with 37. Ricciardo, you got to get up there. 34. I think he'll be a top 5, top 6 driver. I think you'll see Ricciardo's going to get by the Ferraris and get by Gasly. I think that's going to happen. Maybe even Bottas. Bottas will probably have another DNF. Constructors wise, Red Bull with 215 and Mercedes with 178. And then behind them is McLaren with 110 and Ferrari with 94. AlphaTauri with 45. Aston Martin with 40. So we kind of got some groups forming here. Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin going back and forth. Alpine's here. So, honestly, looking at this, the top 2 is interesting. 5th place is interesting with AlphaTauri and Aston Martin. The battle for 9th, we got Williams and Haas. And I guess, even it could be 8th. Alfa Romeo's got 2 points, so it's a bit wild, the field. But that's it. French Grand Prix. Who would have thought, again, we're going to be here saying this is wild. I did not. I thought I was going to be bored after 2 laps. But, well, I was bored after 2 laps, but then I was on board after 18 more after that. And then the race is good from there. But we'll be back next week with the Styrian Grand Prix preview. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.